I'm Devan Rajkumar. I'm on a dream mission for Food and Drink magazine to discover everything culinary that Ontario has to offer. Today, just as the fall harvest is starting to happen, writer and friend of mine, Suresh Das, is going to help me discover what's good in Simcoe County. You've been in the food scene for a long time, and then over the years, we've run into each other many times at different culinary events across Toronto.
It's been cool to kind of watch you take over the food scene in Toronto.
I don't know about that, but it's been fun to watch you too.
Back of house, front of house kind of thing. I feel like that's our relationship.
I love traveling to faraway lands, but there's something special about a place so close to home, you can get out of bed in the morning and be there for breakfast. We're headed north of Toronto to Simcoe County. This mix of rolling hills and flatlands produces a huge variety of local food and drink. Suresh and I haven't spent much time here, so we're both excited to start discovering, tasting, and cooking. So Suresh, you're a food writer, you're a food explorer, you're a food critic, but how much of a chef are you?
Today, you're the chef. So I'm your Sue. I'm your Sue all day. You tell me what to do.
That's music to my ears. And you know, we haven't been driving that long, but looking to your right, looking to your left, seeing the farmland, it's very scenic, it's very country-esque. I love it.
Today is gonna be new for me.
Fantastic. You for me as well. One of the biggest tests a chef can face is taking the 100-mile challenge. This means only cooking with ingredients that were produced within 100 miles of home, wherever that might be. The 100-mile store in Creemore, Ontario lives up to that challenge. So tell me about the 100-mile store. What is the story here?
So 100 Mile Store has been here for about 10 years now. We've got all kinds of local food, organic food, health food, unhealthy food, delicious food, all kinds of stuff. We try to sample a little bit from all around the region. I'm always on the lookout for new suppliers and new producers.
I noticed a lot of unique ingredients, especially with produce. We have Turley wine sap apples I've never heard of.
Everybody likes something that's just a little bit different. Familiar, but a twist on the familiar.
Yes.
Honey nut squash, very popular.
They're coming home with me.
Yeah.
Tell me about the producers in this area.
So we've got all kinds. We've got dairy, we've got all kinds of beef around here, local small-scale fruit and vegetable, apples and pears and nectarines, fantastic tomatoes this time of year.
And what about the store? What can people expect when they come into a 100 Mile Store in Creemore?
There's a method to the madness. We've got it organized, laid out in a very small space, lots of delicious foods.
The cool thing about this store is like all these really interesting products, like this small batch maple syrup made by a guy down the street.
So tonight for dinner, I want a very exciting menu. So here we have the maitake mushroom, and I think this will be an awesome ingredient for our dinner. I know I want to do some type of a focaccia. I know we have a barbecue. I think I saw some ribeyes.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I love ribeye.
Ribeyes, mushrooms,
Sounds like a great fall dish.
coming together.
Perfect.
We're gonna grab some fresh herbs. The sage, will be able to brush our steak with this. And then also for that baby leek chimichurri, can never go wrong with some flat leaf parsley. These Concord grapes look amazing, nice and fruity. We'll use these tonight.
Okay, thank you, Neil.
You're welcome. There you be.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for everything.
You're welcome.
I'll see you soon.
Bye.
In keeping with our 100-mile theme, our next stop is an artisanal flour mill that grinds Ontario-grown grains, seeds, berries, and beans. Its owner is part of a family that's been milling in Ontario for over a century. So what was your inspiration for opening up K2 Milling?
Customer interest, people looking for different types of flour with more nutrition and more flavor.
So what do your customers like about the products that you make here?
One word, flavor. Chefs or home baking, they're interested in flavor. So That sets K2 milling flour apart from run-of-the-mill other flours.
And at K2 Milling, you use all local grains. Can you talk a little bit about that?
K2 milling is following in the paths of earlier mills in Ontario, where mills were set up where the grain was grown.
So this is where the milling takes place. What is the process?
Process is pulverizing grain into flour or pulverizing fruit skins into flour. It's very short, takes about 4 seconds from the time the product enters the mill till it's finished flour. It's a very short process which allows for more flavor release in the flour. This is grape flour, which is made from grapes after they've been pressed to make wine, and this is actually an Ontario Merlot flour from Niagara. We try very, very hard to source what grows around us. Less carbon's emitted when the grain's moved closer. Different parts of Ontario grow different types of grain, but we are able to source predominantly everything we mill from Ontario.
Mark, thank you so much for taking the time to open our eyes to the world of milling, and we're going to be using your product to make an incredible dinner tonight.
Pleasure is mine. Thanks for coming.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next stop is Sheldon Creek Dairy, and the family that owns it has been dairy farming in Simcoe County since 1953. Today, they offer a mix of modern and traditional, with new dairy products like A2 milk and using high-tech methods to milk their herd of Holstein cows.
So we're going to be heading over to Hamview Farms where all of our cows live. So we have 65 purebred Holsteins. What's pretty unique about our barn is the cows actually milk themselves.
That's really cool. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah. The other thing that's cool about this barn is this is where the A2 milk is made. The cows that make the A2 milk are 100% A2 protein producers. So it's a lot easier for our bodies to actually digest it.
This is what we would call a robotic milking facility. So the cow will go in and the robot will identify who that cow is, and then the milker will attach and she'll be milked and she'll be fed and then she'll be on her way. Happy cows makes quality milk. That's what we always say here. So we do everything in our ability to make these cows happy and to make them comfortable. And if they can go and get milked whenever they choose, in the middle of the night or in the middle of the day, that makes their life a lot happier, and that's what adds to the quality of milk.
What volume of milk can you expect to yield per day?
So our average here is 35 liters per day per cow. Yeah, but at their peak, some cows will milk up to 60 liters a day.
That's a lot. Did you know that?
No, did you?
No, I did not know that.
That's probably more than we drink in a month, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You keep them happy, and in return, they give you good milk.
Exactly.
So definitely try out the 45% cream in your coffee or whipping it. The eggnog or the seasonal products like pumpkin spice and salted caramel are also, of course, out.
We can't leave this place without loading up for our dinner. Yes, ghee, so many different types.
Yeah.
We're really excited with these.
Yeah, well, you've chosen some great items. Lebne, once you get onto it, it's like you never go back.
And then the 45%.
45% cream. We can't keep this in stock. We call this liquid gold because
Yes.
it's just like, it whips up so beautifully, and really there's nowhere else in Canada you can get it. And then A2 milk is probably one of our most popular items right now. Just great for people who have milk sensitivity, someone who's looking for products to go back to milk and get all those nutrients, but maybe can't digest regular milk that's on the shelf. Well, you guys enjoy your evening.
Wonderful. Nice to meet
Have
you,
fun.
Marianne.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks for coming by.
Most spirits are made from corn, rye, or wheat, but Beattie's Distillers go against the grain and make their vodka and gin from potatoes they grow themselves in Simcoe County.
Here we go. Beattie's.
Beattie's. That's about as farm to table as you can get.
So this is quite the production, Ken. What's going on here?
Well, this is our chip potatoes going into storage for the winter. There's roughly 3,000 pounds a minute going by us here. We typically store 30 to 50,000 hundredweights a day.
Wow.
So it's a lot of potatoes.
And your family's been in the potato business for how long now?
In about the 100-year mark now. We had potatoes here in the early 20s. So
This is tradition.
it's tradition. Yeah, that's right.
I can't wait to try the vodka that you make here, Ken. What makes Beattie so special with the potatoes that you use?
The creamy, smooth taste we get that is quite different from other traditional grain-made vodkas. And it seems to be the signature for our potato product.
And this is production on a very large scale. What's the inspiration behind all this?
Traditionally, we're in the processed potato business for potato chips, but my wife and I visited Prince Edward Island to see a smaller scale operation out there, and we came home, talked about it, and we ended up with LCBO about 2 years later, and
The rest is history.
the story rolls on.
And you also make a gin here at Beattie's. I'd love to try the gin.
We can do that. The gin is actually just another distillation past the vodka.
In terms of like the botanicals, are you using anything locally?
Some of the botanicals do come from local sources, which I'm not really allowed to disclose.
They're secret.
They're secret.
Cheers, Ken. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's really floral on the nose. Smell that.
It smells like a garden.
Thank you for having us, Ken. This is a treat.
Thank you.
Right at the source.
Suresh, we're on our way to our 5th and final stop today. It's been such an amazing day, but the fun doesn't stop just yet. We get to go to Spirit Tree Cidery. Cider is my favorite thing to drink, but we're also going to be cooking an incredible dinner there with all the amazing stuff we picked up all day.
Yeah, this is going to be great. Spirit Tree does a number of different ciders. There's regular cider and hard cider and a variety of different styles. I think we're going to have an awesome end to this day, and I can't wait for dinner.
I can't wait either. You'll be my Sue and you're going to say?
Yes, chef.
I'm Thomas Wilson with Spirit Tree Estate Cidery. At Spirit Tree, we grow the apples here in Caledon, Ontario, that we make our juice and our ciders with. We are also a farm shop and a bistro. Our flagship cider here at Spirit Tree is our draft cider. It is a clean, crisp, full-bodied cider.
We're here at Spirit Tree Cidery. It's a nice, beautiful, scenic scene. It's in an open field, and we have the picnic table set up. The barbecue is going. My first job is to get these steaks on there and start working on that chimichurri. I'm gonna grill off the leeks and fold that into the chimichurri as well. Those are the baby leeks that we got from 100 Mile.
So I'm making a focaccia with 2 types of cheeses. There's some freshly preserved peaches on it, some Concord grapes that are just out this fall. I'm gonna cook that in the wood-fired oven at Spirit Tree Cidery. And when it comes out, a drizzle of olive oil, some salt and pepper, and it's ready to go.
For the mains, I will be grilling the New York strip loin and the ribeyes that we got from 100 Mile. That's hitting the hottest part of the grill. When that comes off, that's going to be draped in this beautiful grilled baby leek chimichurri sauce. These beautiful, stunning maitake mushrooms that we got from 100 Mile, I'm searing them in a hot cast iron pan on the barbecue with some of the ghee that we got from Sheldon Creek Dairy Farm. I'm also going to add to that ghee some fresh herbs like thyme and sage, and then present that nice and golden brown.
As our guests are arriving, I'm preparing a cocktail with Beattie's vodka and some of that crisp Spirit Tree cider. There's a drizzle of local honey there, some apple slices from the orchard to finish with a few sprigs of thyme.
For this dinner, I'm making a peach crumble stuffed apple. We're going to take some fresh apples, we're going to core them out. We're then going to add a crumble that we've done with K2 oats. Then we're going to put it in the oven and bake those down. And we're going to finish them off with some orchard honey, some fresh cream, and mint.
Look at how hot this food is.
Today was a very special day. We started the day off in Creemore and now we're ending off in Caledon. Driving with Suresh in the car with me was amazing. We went to an amazing distillery. We saw some unbelievable artisanal products. Every time I travel throughout Ontario, I see such beautiful produce. And today we have the honey nut squash that I tried and I cooked that I've never even tried before. So overall, it was an amazing day. It was get to know Suresh even better. I feel like we've connected now on a completely new level and I've made so many more friendships.
It was also great to watch Dev put together a fantastic harvest meal with some of the amazing produce and ingredients we were able to find on our drive today.
We're now hitting fall season, the weather's getting a bit cooler, the colors of the leaves on the trees are beginning to change. Tonight's dinner is cozy, warm, and delicious.
I'm Miranda Keys. Next week on 5 Stops, award-winning mixologist Chantel Gabino joins me on a delicious food and drink finding mission in Oxford County.